Natal to Navamsha Nakshatra Pada analysis. For Madison Ascendant in first house, Virgo, Uttara Falguni Nakshatra, third Pada, Navamsha Aquarius, first house. Natal chart expression, outer personality, Virgo in Uttara Falguni, third Pada. Madison's ascendant falls in Virgo, a mutable earth sign ruled by Mercury. This immediately establishes her as methodical, perceptive, health-conscious, and self-improving in how she expresses herself and engages with the world. Virgo ascendants often present themselves as calm, detail-oriented, and highly observant, prizing precision in both appearance and speech. Uttara Falguni Nakshatra, ruled by the sun, lends a stabilizing force to her Virgo nature. This nakshatra is about honor, agreements, and righteous duty, suggesting Madison naturally radiates trustworthiness and a subtle sense of authority, even when she's not actively seeking attention. People may feel drawn to her for her reliability and clarity. The third Pada, mapped to Aquarius Navamsha, adds a humanitarian, intellectual, and subtly rebellious streak to this otherwise structured personality. This combination suggests a visible personality that appears organized and service-oriented, but also surprisingly forward-thinking and socially conscious. She may operate from a place of duty and ethical correctness, yet there's a strong need to be part of collective progress or to offer practical solutions to social issues. There's a refined elegance in how she presents herself, but with an undertone of innovation or nonconformity that gradually reveals itself. People might underestimate her radical edge because of her modest exterior, but Madison quietly carries a mission-driven nature that blends service with social relevance. Navamsha chart expression. Inner essence, Aquarius first house. With Aquarius rising in the Navamsha, Madison's soul identity is driven by originality, systems thinking, and collective evolution. Internally, she does not want to repeat what has already been done. She wants to build, reform, or question structures to make them more inclusive, future-ready, and consciously aligned. Key inner traits include a deep-seated desire to contribute to the collective in meaningful ways, often through ideas, reforms, or causes that feel ahead of their time. A quiet defiance of norms. Madison may not be overtly rebellious, but her inner compass constantly questions what's outdated or unjust. Though reserved on the outside, Virgo, her inner self is idealistic and driven by the need to contribute something original and socially impactful. This Navamsha placement also reflects a karmic journey of stepping out of roles defined by service or correction, Virgo, into roles defined by progressive alignment and visionary leadership, Aquarius. Integration, grounded dignity meets evolved vision. Outward expression, Virgo Uttara Falguni third Pada. Madison comes across as composed, helpful, and self-contained. She likely values order, ethics, and precision, and appears dependable in any role she takes on. Inward reality, Aquarius Navamsha first house. Internally, she's motivated by transformation on a social or systemic level. Her soul yearns to bring innovation to structures and serve causes that uplift communities or shift outdated paradigms. Core conflict. Her outer self wants order, clarity, and correctness, but her inner self seeks innovation, disruption, and progress. This can lead to tension between playing it safe, Virgo, and embracing her authentic eccentricity. Karmic lesson. Madison must learn to balance precision with liberation, to recognize that duty and innovation can coexist. Her evolution involves learning when to follow the rules, when to challenge them, and how to harmonize both impulses with integrity. Summary of Ascendant Synthesis. Madison embodies the wise reformer archetype. On the outside, she's seen as reliable, smart, and service-oriented. But beneath that is a soul that carries futuristic vision, radical compassion, and the courage to think differently. Her journey is about learning to express her unique ideals through grounded, practical channels, and in doing so, she becomes a bridge between order and evolution. Natal to Navamsha Nakshatra Pada analysis. For Madison, Venus, and Moon, first house, Virgo, Uttara Falguni and Hasta Nakshatras, Navamsha Capricorn, 12th house, and Aries, 3rd house. Venus, first house, Virgo, Uttara Falguni Nakshatra, 2nd Pada, Navamsha Capricorn, 12th house. Natal chart expression, Venus in first house, Virgo Uttara Falguni second Pada. Venus in Virgo is traditionally considered debilitated, but when placed in the first house, it grants charm, refinement, and a self-presentation that is gentle, reserved, and elegant. In Uttara Falguni, ruled by the Sun, Venus gains maturity and a focus on commitment, fairness, and balanced partnerships. The second Pada, mapped to Capricorn Navamsha, adds a disciplined and reserved emotional style beneath the loving, accommodating surface. This blend reflects a person who may appear pleasing, tactful, and soft-spoken, but who has high standards for both self and others when it comes to affection and loyalty. A strong internal code around relationships. Venus here doesn't fall easily. She weighs everything practically, especially in matters of beauty, love, and worth. The Capricorn Navamsha adds an inner emotional conservatism. There's a karmic tendency to suppress desire in favor of long-term value or control. Navamsha expression. Venus in Capricorn, 12th house. In the Navamsha, Venus lands in Capricorn, 12th house, indicating that her inner romantic and creative self is bound by karmic restraint and quiet longing. This placement suggests emotional sacrifices in love, often choosing duty over pleasure. A deeply private, almost hidden desire for beauty, intimacy, and affection, but not easily expressed. A karmic thread around healing from past patterns of emotional repression, especially tied to self-worth and femininity. This placement often indicates evolved aesthetic purpose, creativity or beauty work that arises from solitude, depth, or inner wisdom. Moon, first house, Virgo, Hasta Nakshatra, first Pada, Navamsha Aries, third house, natal chart expression, Moon in first house, Virgo, Hasta first Pada. With the moon in Virgo's Hasta Nakshatra, Madison's emotional nature is tied to craftsmanship, healing, and mental clarity. Hasta, ruled by the moon itself, brings emotional intelligence, dexterity, and a need to create security through structure. The first Pada, mapped to Aries Navamsha, introduces fiery emotional impulses underneath her cool and composed surface. This indicates someone who appears careful and composed emotionally, but may feel intensely and act quickly when emotionally provoked. An instinctive desire to fix, manage, or heal others as a way to regulate her own inner world. A sharp memory, excellent organizational skills, and emotional boundaries that are crafted, not natural. She learns them. Navamsha expression. Moon in Aries, third house. Moon in Aries in the Navamsha third house suggests an inner self that is emotionally assertive, direct, and adventurous. Though outwardly she may be composed, inwardly she craves independence and freedom of emotional expression, needs to act on instincts, and may use writing, communication, or self-expression as a cathartic tool. Feels driven to initiate emotionally charged conversations or take bold steps to protect those she loves. Her soul seeks freedom through communication, the ability to say what she feels when she feels it without filter. Integration. Graceful healer with a fiery core. Venus in Uttara Falguni second Pada, Capricorn Navamsha. Poised, grounded, and self-contained in love, romantic but practical. Emotionally selective and karmically oriented toward long-term, sustainable intimacy. Moon in Hasta first Pada, Aries Navamsha. Emotionally responsive, clever, and mentally precise. Internally bold, with a secret desire to act quickly on gut feelings, even when the outer appearance is reserved. Core tension. Madison's outer image is soft, intelligent, and careful, but her inner world is bold, driven, and emotionally urgent. Venus wants structure. Moon wants initiative. There may be emotional guilt around acting too soon or loving too deeply. Karmic lesson. To learn self-worth without self-denial. Madison must reconcile her desire for emotional discipline with her soul's call for expression and risk. She is here to build a love and identity that allows both stability and freedom, containment, and movement. Summary. Venus, Falguni, Capricorn, 12th house. Romantic but restrained, seeks soulful beauty and connection through commitment, solitude, and earned trust. Moon, Hasta, Aries, 3rd house. Emotionally brave and sharp, driven to express and act when necessary, especially through words or hands-on effort. Together, these placements make Madison a graceful builder of emotional frameworks, someone who heals, refines, and moves forward, all in the same breath. Natal to Navamsha Nakshatra Pada analysis. For Madison Sun, 2nd house, Libra, Swati Nakshatra, 4th Pada, Navamsha Pisces. Natal chart expression. Sun in 2nd house, Libra, Swati 4th Pada. The sun in the second house governs Madison's core identity around values, voice, and self-worth. It links her ego with how she speaks, earns, and maintains security. Placed in Libra, the sun is in its sign of debilitation, suggesting a soul journey that involves refining confidence, especially in the realms of self-expression and self-value. Swati Nakshatra, ruled by Rahu, is known for independence, adaptability, and internal restlessness. It adds a breezy, flexible, and intellectual quality to her identity. Madison's sun here is learning to balance cooperation with individuality, often experiencing fluctuations in confidence depending on how balanced or imbalanced her relationships and finances feel. The fourth pada, mapping to Pisces Navamsha, introduces a deeply spiritual, idealistic, and sensitive emotional undercurrent beneath this externally diplomatic and value-conscious sun. This suggests Madison's outer approach to resources and self-worth is graceful and peace-seeking, but internally, she may feel torn between material needs and soulful longing. Her voice is soothing, balanced, and thoughtful, but carries emotional vulnerability and an unspoken yearning to connect with something more meaningful. This sun might struggle with asserting its individuality if validation is overly tied to others' appreciation or harmony in relationships. There is a karmic journey of self-definition here, learning to shine without seeking constant external agreement or approval. Navamsha expression, sun in Pisces, second house. In the Navamsha, the sun falls in Pisces, still in the second house, reinforcing the theme of self-worth and voice, but with a spiritual, imaginative, and emotionally transcendent twist. Key internal traits: a soul that measures its worth not by material gain, but by alignment with compassion, empathy, and inspiration. Internally, Madison may crave artistic expression, poetic communication, or soulful speech, something that touches the intangible. There's a karmic longing to use her voice as a vessel for healing or emotional truth, not just for practical needs. This Pisces influence suggests that her core identity thrives when it's aligned with a deeper sense of purpose, whether through music, spiritual teaching, healing dialogue, or quiet service. Integration, diplomatic self-esteem meets spiritual voice. Swati in Libra, fourth pada, Pisces Navamsha. Outwardly, Madison appears socially graceful, adaptable, and emotionally neutral, yet she harbors a sensitive core that seeks transcendence in how she defines her worth. Sun in Pisces, second house. Internally, her soul shines when it speaks from the heart. There's a yearning to dissolve the ego into something universal, to turn speech and self-worth into offerings of connection and compassion. Core tension. Her outer sun wants harmony and relational approval, but her inner sun seeks soulful autonomy and emotional authenticity. This can result in confusion around what voice is truly hers and what is simply a reflection of others' expectations. Karmic lesson. Madison is here to build self-worth rooted in spirit, not just in societal validation. Her evolution lies in learning that her voice has power even when it's soft, and that her presence holds light even when it's not commanding. The challenge is to stay centered in self while remaining open to emotional flow. Summary of sun synthesis. Natal sun. Swati, second house, outwardly diplomatic, values harmony, speaks with refinement, but may waver in self-worth if validation is missing. Navamsha sun, Pisces, second house, inwardly poetic, spiritual, and gentle. Her soul's brightness comes from expressing universal truth, not personal pride. Madison's sun represents the alchemist of self-worth, refining her voice through grace and infusing it with soulful meaning that resonates far beyond material definitions. Natal to Navamsha Nakshatra Pada analysis. For Madison Mercury, third house, Scorpio, Anuradha Nakshatra, second pada, Navamsha Virgo, sixth house. Natal chart expression. Mercury in third house, Scorpio, Anuradha, second pada. Mercury in the third house grants Madison a sharp intellect, articulate self-expression, and a natural drive for learning, writing, and communication. When placed in Scorpio, Mercury becomes intensely investigative, psychologically deep, and emotionally perceptive. She may have a talent for uncovering hidden truths, reading between the lines, or navigating emotionally charged conversations with precision. Anuradha Nakshatra, ruled by Saturn, lends a loyal, disciplined, and relational dimension to Mercury's logic. The second pada, mapped to Virgo Navamsha, amplifies Mercury's analytical, critical, and perfectionist nature. strengthening its affinity for detail, refinement, and service. This combination suggests Madison's communication style is observant, strategic, and emotionally calibrated. She may speak little, but when she does, it's with meaning, precision, and often depth. Her thoughts often revolve around control, transformation, emotional safety, and how to strategically navigate conflict or complexity. The Virgo Pada brings technical strength. She may excel in writing, editing, data processing, counseling, or anything requiring fine-tuned mental work. Outwardly, Madison communicates with intensity but clarity. People may feel that she knows more than she says, and they're right. Navamsha expression, Mercury in Virgo, 6th house. Mercury in Virgo, its own sign in the 6th house of the Navamsha, shows that Madison's inner intelligence is karmically wired for service, analysis, and problem solving. This is a Mercury of refined mental discipline, someone who inwardly thinks in systems, categories, and logical steps. Key inner traits include a strong inner critic, constantly analyzing not just others, but also herself. A karmic draw toward environments that demand mental labor, technical work, healing through communication, or intellectual service. The 6th house indicates that her mind is often applied to solving problems for others, possibly in situations of conflict, inequality, or service. She may be internally restless, always trying to fix or optimize something, even if it's not her responsibility. Her inner Mercury is both a healer and a hyper-perfectionist. Integration. Strategic mind meets precise service, outward expression. Scorpio Anurata 2nd Pada. A communicator who is emotionally discerning, tactful, and psychologically sharp. Her style is quiet but impactful, often helping others see what they've missed, especially in emotionally complex situations. Inward reality. Virgo Navamsha 6th house, an inner life dominated by a need to be useful, mentally excellent, and in control. She feels most safe when she is mentally contributing, especially through teaching, advising, organizing, or healing. Core tension. Externally, her Mercury wants to manage depth and emotions, Scorpio, while internally it demands clarity, order, and service, Virgo. This may create tension between mental over-involvement and emotional detachment, especially in communication-heavy environments. Karmic lesson. To trust her mind as a healing tool, not just a control mechanism. Madison is here to use her discernment to guide and support others, but also to soften the inner voice that is too often critical of herself. Summary of Mercury synthesis. Mercury in Anurata, Scorpio, Virgo Navamsha, 3rd house. A strategic, intuitive thinker with emotional depth and intellectual rigor. Mercury in Virgo Navamsha 6th house. Internally driven to perfect, serve, and resolve problems, especially those involving communication, conflict, or mental clarity. Madison's Mercury is both detective and healer, a master of hidden truths and fine details. Her growth lies in using this powerful mind not just for precision, but for elevation of herself and others. Natal to Navamsha Nakshatra Pada analysis. For Madison Mars, 4th house, Sagittarius, Purva Ashada Nakshatra, 2nd Pada, Navamsha Virgo, 6th house. Natal chart expression, Mars in 4th house, Sagittarius, Purva Ashada 2nd Pada. Mars in the 4th house brings assertive energy into Madison's emotional core, home life, and inner foundation. In Sagittarius, Mars becomes idealistic, visionary, and driven by higher principles. She is likely to protect her emotional space through truth, beliefs, or philosophical boundaries, and she may be restless when her home or inner life lacks intellectual or spiritual stimulation. Purva Ashada Nakshatra, ruled by Venus, adds a strong emotional undercurrent of conviction, resilience, and hidden power. This is a nakshatra of early victory, suggesting that Madison may feel an early internal sense of mission or drive, particularly around her values, culture, or family expectations. The 2nd Pada, mapped to Virgo Navamsha, adds a detailed service-oriented tone to Mars's otherwise fiery and forward-moving nature. It refines her action style and emotional assertion into something more meticulous and quietly forceful. This combination suggests a protective emotional style. Madison doesn't explode, but she can strategically assert boundaries when her space, values, or loved ones are threatened. A tendency to defend ideals within the family unit? She might resist emotional manipulation and push for emotional honesty or ethical discipline at home. Outwardly, she may come across as calm or collected, but underneath lies focused intensity, a drive to fix, improve, or transform emotional dynamics through purposeful action. Navamsha expression, Mars in Virgo, 6th house. In the Navamsha, Mars shifts into Virgo in the 6th house, a placement that is naturally aligned with service, discipline, and karmic action. This is a Mars that excels in managing conflict through precision, task orientation, and solution-focused service. Key inner traits: a soul that is wired for efficient struggle. Madison thrives on challenge, but prefers to solve problems in a step-by-step, measurable way. Karmically, this shows repeated lifetimes of learning to manage aggression constructively, often through work, health, or service domains. Internally, she may hold self-imposed standards of discipline, especially when it comes to managing anger, duty, or criticism. This Virgo Mars reflects a soul here to purify its instinctual drives, not through suppression, but through intelligent deployment of effort. Integration. Idealistic instincts meet precision-driven execution. Outward expression, Sagittarius Purvashada 2nd Pada. A principled fighter, Madison acts to protect truth, uphold fairness, and bring order into emotional and domestic life. She may push others to grow or take accountability through confrontation that feels purposeful, not chaotic. Inward reality, Virgo Navamsha 6th house. Her soul is a quiet warrior, rigorously managing tasks, duties, and challenges with methodical strength. She may struggle with overthinking action, but ultimately, she gets things done with clean intention and ethical clarity. Core tension. Mars wants expansion, assertion, and righteous defense. But Virgo wants proof, order, and careful adjustment. Madison may wrestle with feeling urgency to act on ideals, while her inner self stalls until the perfect action plan is made. Karmic lesson. To trust that measured action still carries power. Madison's evolution lies in learning that assertiveness doesn't have to be loud. It can be intentional, ethical, and precisely delivered. She is here to defend not just herself, but also values, spaces, and truths that are quietly sacred. Summary of Mars synthesis. Mars in Purva Ashada, Sagittarius, Virgo Navamsha, 4th house. Emotionally resilient, values-driven, idealistic defender of personal space and inner truth. Mars in Virgo, Navamsha 6th house, soulful executor of purposeful tasks, internal discipline focused on problem-solving, healing, and karmic service. Madison's Mars is the practical philosopher warrior, fueled by principles but executed through precision. She is here to lead through integrity, protect through insight, and evolve through mastery of will. Natal to Navamsha Nakshatra Pada analysis. For Madison Ketu, 5th house, Capricorn, Shravana Nakshatra, 2nd Pada, Navamsha Taurus, 4th house. Natal chart expression, Ketu in 5th house, Capricorn, Shravana 2nd Pada. Ketu in the 5th house suggests a karmic detachment from the personal ego, creative self-expression, romantic idealism, or even from a desire to control outcomes related to children or legacy. In Capricorn, Ketu becomes practical, dry, and goal-focused, yet emotionally indifferent to the very recognition and admiration the 5th house represents. Shravana Nakshatra, ruled by the moon, deals with deep listening, wisdom, and tradition. It carries karmic imprints of guidance, intellectual heritage, and ancestral narratives. The 2nd Pada, mapped to Taurus Navamsha, anchors this karmic withdrawal into an earth-based framework, suggesting Madison's past life imprints involved structured creativity, responsibility without indulgence, and detachment from applause or performance. This combination suggests Madison may appear wise beyond her years, especially in areas of expression, education, or romantic maturity. While she may possess natural talent, creativity, or charm, she might struggle to fully engage with or enjoy them, feeling disconnected from shining or receiving praise. Her detachment here is karmic, rooted in lifetimes of being valued for output or duty, not for joy or spontaneity. She may have learned in past incarnations that fun comes at a cost, leading her to withhold playful expression unless it serves a deeper purpose. Navamsha expression, Ketu in Taurus, 4th house. In the Navamsha, Ketu moves into Taurus in the 4th house, pointing to a soul detachment from traditional notions of emotional grounding, home, or maternal comfort. This placement signifies a being who has already mastered stability, emotional security, and domestic responsibility, and now seeks emotional liberation. Key inner traits: a deep karmic memory of sacrificing comfort for duty, especially in family or emotional bonds. The soul no longer seeks emotional excess, but rather finds peace in solitude or simplicity. She may experience a persistent sense of emotional displacement or detachment from home, yet also exhibit stoic resilience. There may be a soul-level longing to redefine what home means, less as a place, more as a vibration of peace, calm, or earth-rooted presence. Integration, detached legacy with quiet emotional mastery. Outward expression, Capricorn second Pada. Madison may express wisdom, discipline, and structure in creative domains, but is emotionally uninvested in being recognized or admired. Her expression is purpose-driven, not applause-driven. Her romance with life is one of refinement, not indulgence. Inward reality, Taurus Navamsha fourth house. At her core, she's withdrawn from emotional complexity or traditional definitions of security. The soul seeks peace, but peace that is earned through stillness, not attachment. Core tension, Ketu's withdrawal from both expression, fifth house, and emotional bonding, fourth Navamsha, may cause Madison to struggle with opening her heart creatively or vulnerably. She may feel unmotivated in areas most people pursue for joy, unsure whether she's allowed to enjoy without purpose. Karmic lesson, to rediscover joy for its own sake. Madison's evolution lies in reintegrating pleasure, creative play, and emotional softness without guilt or duty. She's meant to remember that not all giving must be earned, and not all expression must be productive. Summary of Ketu synthesis. Ketu in Shravana, Capricorn, Taurus Navamsha, fifth house, detached from egoic creation, legacy, or emotional reward. Wisely silent in matters of expression. Ketu in Taurus, Navamsha fourth house, a soul that's done with emotional turbulence. Now seeks internal calm, not performance or emotional enmeshment. Madison's Ketu marks her as a quiet bearer of inner steadiness, disinterested in spotlight or sentiment, yet rooted in silent wisdom. Her journey is to allow joy back in, not through achievement, but through ease and natural rhythm. Natal to Navamsha Nakshatra Pada analysis. For Madison, Saturn, and Jupiter, 8th house, Aries, Bharani, and Ashwini nakshatras, Navamsha Virgo, 6th house, and Taurus, 4th house. Saturn, 8th house, Aries, Bharani nakshatra, 2nd Pada, Navamsha Virgo, 6th house. Natal chart expression, Saturn in 8th house, Aries, Bharani, 2nd Pada. Saturn in the 8th house represents deep karmic lessons around transformation, vulnerability, shared resources, and the power dynamics of trust. In Aries, Saturn struggles to move at its preferred slow pace. Here, it must learn how to temper impulsivity with discipline. Bharani Nakshatra, ruled by Venus, is about bearing life's weight, especially those tied to birth, death, and moral boundaries. The 2nd Pada, mapping to Virgo Navamsha, gives Madison a refined, methodical approach to managing the chaos of emotional or financial upheavals. This suggests a soul accustomed to intense situations. Madison may attract crises or secrets, but responds with resilience and quiet control. Emotionally, she may withhold vulnerability, preferring analysis and detachment over emotional exposure. There is a karmic theme of learning how to hold power responsibly, especially in areas related to others' trust, pain, or reliance. The Virgo Pada ensures that she will likely handle taboo, trauma, or healing processes with technical skill and ethical precision, possibly even as a counselor, advisor, or reformer. Navamsha expression, Saturn in Virgo, 6th house. In the Navamsha, Saturn's placement in Virgo in the 6th house shows that Madison's soul carries strong karma related to service, structure, and problem solving. She thrives in roles where she can organize complexity, clean up disorder, or restore ethical alignment. Key inner traits: internally focused on responsibility, service, and repair, especially in difficult or messy domains, relationships, health, duties. Carries karmic fatigue from serving silently and perfectly, a soul that's perhaps tired but still devoted to doing right. A tendency towards self-denial or workaholism when under stress, over-identifies with service or sacrifice. Jupiter, 8th house, Aries, Ashwini Nakshatra, 2nd Pada, Navamsha Taurus, 4th house natal chart expression. Jupiter in 8th house, Aries, Ashwini 2nd Pada. Jupiter in the 8th house brings expansive healing, metaphysical depth, and intuitive wisdom in crisis. In Aries, Jupiter becomes a bold explorer of transformation, diving into uncomfortable truths with courage. Ashwini Nakshatra, ruled by the Ashwini Kumars, divine physicians, grants quick healing powers and an urge to initiate fresh understanding. The second pada, mapped to Taurus Navamsha, gives stability, consistency, and a grounded approach to those otherwise volatile 8th house themes. This suggests Madison may have an innate ability to guide others through darkness, often without formal training. She carries ancient, intuitive wisdom. Her spiritual approach is action-driven and truth-centered. She teaches through her emotional integrity and strength during crises. The Taurus Navamsha influence implies that even when chaos surrounds her, her soul seeks peace, emotional grounding, and the calm of internal stability. Navamsha expression. Jupiter in Taurus, 4th house. Here, Jupiter becomes the inner guardian of emotional stability and values. The 4th house adds nurturing, ancestral wisdom, and heart-based loyalty to Jupiter's expansive character. Key inner traits: a soul that radiates calm strength and intuitive safety. Madison's emotional core is a place of spiritual refuge. Karmically, she has likely spent lifetimes anchoring others during emotional storms and now carries that calm as a built-in presence. She is emotionally generous, with a soft but powerful ability to provide philosophical security to others. Integration, service in crisis, wisdom in chaos. Saturn in Bharani second pada, Virgo Navamsha 6th house, outwardly serious, inwardly service-oriented. She is the karmic fixer, especially in domains that others find too dark or broken, a silent architect of structure in places of pain. Jupiter in Ashwini second pada, Taurus Navamsha 4th house, the emotional guru, offers intuitive comfort, inner stillness, and calm optimism in the face of loss, change, or transformation, brings light into complexity. Core tension. Saturn says sacrifice, perfect, endure, while Jupiter says trust, rest, expand. Madison may wrestle between emotional control and spiritual surrender, often working harder than needed before allowing ease and trust. Karmic lesson. To balance devotional service, Saturn, with graceful healing, Jupiter. Madison's evolution lies in trusting that she doesn't have to suffer to be worthy, and that true transformation arises not just from structure, but from compassion, rest, and spiritual insight. Summary of 8th house synthesis. Saturn, Bharani, Virgo, 6th house, meticulous, ethical, emotionally withheld, karmically bound to service. Jupiter, Ashwini, Taurus, 4th house, philosophically nurturing, soul-centered, emotionally expansive through stability and care. Together, they make Madison a karmic stabilizer in emotional or spiritual crises, capable of healing others through both structure and soul. Natal to Navamsha Nakshatra Pada analysis. For Madison Rahu, 11th house, Cancer, Pushya Nakshatra, 4th pada, Navamsha Scorpio, 10th house. Natal chart expression, Rahu in 11th house, Cancer, Pushya 4th pada. Rahu in the 11th house shows a karmic craving for recognition, impact, and the fulfillment of material and social desires. It fuels ambition, vision, and unconventional networking. In Cancer, however, Rahu's craving is emotionalized. Madison's need for achievement is deeply tied to emotional validation, acceptance, and belonging. Pushya Nakshatra, ruled by Brihaspati, Jupiter, is a deeply spiritual, nourishing, and disciplined lunar mansion. Rahu here is oddly placed, its craving emotional status and social nurturing, even as it manipulates or disrupts those very dynamics. The 4th pada, mapped to Scorpio Navamsha, intensifies this by infusing a psychological, intense, and transformational edge to Madison's social and emotional pursuits. This suggests Madison may present herself as emotionally supportive and loyal in group settings, but underneath there may be a strategic motivation to feel needed, to gain emotional safety, or to secure influence. She is karmically drawn to circles of power, healing, or mysticism, especially where social success is built around emotional depth, privacy, or trust. Her goals aren't superficial. She seeks emotional sovereignty through social success, and may challenge traditional ideas of what success should look like. There's a sense of intense inner hunger for validation, especially from emotionally authoritative or spiritually influential circles. Navamsha expression. Rahu in Scorpio, 10th house. In the Navamsha, Rahu shifts to Scorpio, in the 10th house, placing the karmic hunger squarely in the domain of career, public legacy, and authority. This shows a soul driven to master emotional and psychological power through public action. Key inner traits: a soul deeply ambitious, not just for power, but for transformational authority. to be someone who impacts systems, psychology, or collective healing. Rahu in Scorpio craves emotional control, mastery over hidden forces, and public recognition for surviving or transcending intensity. In the 10th house, she may struggle with obsessiveness around achievement, needing to prove her worth not through fame, but by owning her shadow and using it wisely. There is a destiny thread here, pulling Madison into roles that require emotional intelligence, strategy, and presence under pressure. Integration, nurturing strategist meets power healer. Pushya 4th Pada, Cancer, Scorpio, Navamsha. Madison appears to be a nurturing networker, someone who deeply supports her circles. But inwardly, she's learning to use relationships as mirrors for emotional power, testing who is safe, what is real, and how influence operates. Rahu in Scorpio, 10th Navamsha house. Madison's soul craves transformation through vocation. She is meant to rise publicly not for ego's sake, but through her ability to navigate power, emotion, and shadow with discernment and wisdom. Core tension. Rahu seeks both emotional intimacy, Cancer, and emotional dominance, Scorpio. Madison may fluctuate between wanting nurturing and fearing vulnerability, especially in social and professional spaces. Karmic lesson. To learn that true power comes through integration, not control. Madison's evolution lies in embracing emotional transparency, while channeling her ambition into service that transforms others, not just elevates her status. Summary of Rahu synthesis. Rahu in Pushya 4th Pada, Cancer, Scorpio, Navamsha, 11th house, emotionally strategic, deeply intuitive in group settings, craves significance through nurturing influence. Rahu in Scorpio, Navamsha 10th house, a soul destined to confront power, secrecy, and public intensity. Karmic pull toward leadership roles involving emotional or psychological mastery. Madison's Rahu is the alchemist of emotional ambition, transforming deep psychological hunger into public purpose. Her growth lies in trusting the healing power of vulnerability while learning to lead from depth, not disguise.